Wait, what? Oh yes, I have BGM. Ah, foda-se! It didn't even let me start my greeting! Yakasor! Hello everyone! Hi doggy. Hi, how you doing? Hi Nick. Who redeemed the boobs? Of course it was doggy. How you doing everyone? Are you guys ready for more Toxic Yuri today? Already off to a good start. It's really two important things that can never miss on my stream. Apparently. Ah! Sorry for the delay. I am dealing with the monthly egg distribution system. It has chosen me today at 3 AM. It's a little bit painful and bothersome. So I'm dealing with it while streaming. No way, I didn't want to cancel the stream. We have a mermaid to raise today. Wait. So many tabs. Oh yeah, played a bit of Helldivers. Helldivers with homies. I don't know what Helldivers is. Let me check it. Helldivers. Making that face as if I need glasses to read. It's just that there's a lot of info. Looks like an FPS game. Or at least a shooting game. Trabalhar a equipa, proteger a super terra e derrotar os inimigos da humanidade. Okay, seems legit. seems like a fun teamwork game. I don't want to waste too much time on the just chatting segment today. I wanna go straight to the game. I haven't opened it yet. I did notice something on my last stream. I was playing this game. Is that I kinda get too soft spoken when I'm reading. Like when I'm speaking normally. Sometimes I tend to scream as if you guys couldn't hear me on the phone. But when I'm reading, I'm so focused on reading, I start speaking so softly, sometimes the volume is not matching. So maybe I can pull my microphone closer when I'm reading? It's complicated. Why the fuck is the siren ringing? What? That was not supposed to happen. Hold up, I was not supposed to change scenes. I was trying to do this. Hello? Numpad is not working because I turned off the numpad. Stupid! As I was saying, why is the fireman siren ringing about town? It's raining outside. I doubt there's a fire, and it's not even 5 p.m. It's 3:22. Did I miss something? Maybe it's some kind of exercise. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it sounds a little bit like disaster siren happening in the background. Usually that plays when there's a fire, mostly in the summer. Or if it's a Sunday and it's 5 p.m. That's the only purpose it has. Okay, let's open the game. I am ready to read. I have my microphone close to me. I am slightly hydrated. I try. I have my lips moisturized. Mama Sora bought me a lip balm thingy because I had my lips a little bit dry from the cold, and it's really nice. It smells like a strawberry bubblegum. It's really nice. I'm gonna open the game. Control Shift. Damn. I wonder how have I not fallen over yet with these two big melons on my chest. People need a lot of muscle for these things. Now, where is... Ah, it gets so lonely here. There it is. Open Sesame. Or Yuri. Open Yuri. The presso music. Yeah. Ok, testando. 1, 2, 3. My headset needs to be a little bit lower. Can I get some fart redeems in chat so I can test something? I'm gonna start myself. Getting mais baixo. Okay, I think I'm good like this. Right. We were here. Do you guys remember? Oh, I remember. I have to be careful because the toggle redeems. The toggle expressions do make my game speed up a little. You guys remember where we left on last time? Well, if you guys don't, I'm gonna just give you a little rewind time. We were on the beach. Well, the game starts more like you're running on the forest from something for a very long time, and then you end up finding a crossroad. In my case, I chose one path, and that path went to hell. Not literally, but it was really bad without spoiling what happened. That path was really bad, and so I asked for a second chance, and I restarted and chose the way to the beach. So we went to the beach. We borrowed this abandoned house on the beach for sleeping, and then we ended up following the voice of a mermaid. Yeah, you should totally follow the singing voices of people at night. This game is still too loud for me. Wait. So we ended up finding a mermaid, and we agreed to go on a date with her, I think? That's kinda what happened. The mermaid was really sad because she had a human friend, lover, maybe, and she was sad because she never saw that human again. So I guess I am that second option. What can I do? Let's just rewind a little bit. Okay, we can start here. The following morning, when it arrives, is cloudy and overcast. It is not a particularly pleasant morning, but at least it is not raining. That is some small consolation. You rise from your straw pallet, stretching, then glance about the interior of the fisherman's cottage. It looked dilapidated last night, when much of it was obscured by the shadows, but it looks even more so when subjected to the morning's light. Yeah, the house is shit, but it's all we got and I'm thankful for it. The cottage's interior has the distinct, disquieting appearance of having been abandoned in a hurry. Oh. That's usually not a good sign. If it seems like a house was abandoned in a hurry. There is broken pottery strewn upon the ground, and the singular wooden chair, which once must have stood by the singular wooden table, is lying on the floor. What the fuck happened here? The doors of the cupboards, meanwhile, are ajar, the shelves within depressingly bare. A quick search reveals a handful of edibles, but there is precious little to be getting on with. If you wish to live here comfortably, you will have to look into foraging. You ate very little last night, and your stomach is empty. It was the malcontent rumblings of your stomach, in actual fact, which roused you from your slumber. Oh man, that's sad. But your body seems to be very far away. Indeed, much like the great clouds which choke the sky. You are not thinking of your own physical discomforts. You are dwelling instead upon the events of the night prior. You cannot help but think of the mermaid. Did you truly meet an aquatic maiden last night during your nightly stroll when you could not sleep? It sounds unreal, especially now that the sun has risen and the shadows from night prior have dispersed. You cannot quite believe it. It must have been a dream. But why then can you recall it so very clearly? You help yourself to the scant food and drink available to you, all the while thinking of your next course of action. Now, what are you to do? Opa! I smell like I have to make decisions. Pera. Okay. You plan, of course, to return to the shore come nightfall, so that you might once again see the mermaid. But the night will not arrive for quite some time. You need to find some means of keeping yourself occupied until then. The uninspiring interior of the cottage does not furnish you with any particular ideas, so you decide to go for a walk. Yeah, we have no cable, we have no Fortnite. All we can do is go outside and touch grass, I guess. Or sand in this case. In the lack of grass, remember, you can always touch sand. It's a very pleasant feeling. I kinda miss going to the beach and feeling the warm sand on my hands and on my feet. Your soul still ache after exertions last night, but if you go slowly, you ought to be alright. That is what you hope, at least. You did not want to spend much longer than you... Sunny! Eu estou a ler! Mais importantemente, estou a ler Yuri! Não me interrompa! I mean, we haven't gotten to the Yuri part yet, but we'll get there. You do not want to spend much longer than you have to in the fisherman's cottage, no matter how cold it might be outdoors. It almost as cold inside as it is out, and in any case, the cottage is far too small. Yeah, we get it. Touch grass! You leave the cottage behind you and set off. You do not know where exactly you are going, but you suppose it does not matter overly much. You do not have any particular destination in mind. How about a place with food? Some berry bushes, even though you shouldn't eat the random berries you find around. Your meanderings lead you to the cliffs, which are steep and sharp. The drop to the shore is a perilous one, so much so that you have to wonder at how you were able to descend the cliffs the night prior to meet the mermaid. You are rather more determined than you ever realized. Hi Horizon, welcome! Yakusai! Though I, of course, would have told you that much. Fourth wall breaking? Again, this narrator seems to enjoy seeing me suffering. You are surprisingly capricious for a small, slender human. Hey! Not sure how I feel about that. You walk along the side of the cliffs, keeping a sensible distance away from the drop to the shore. You might have survived last night's excitement unscathed, but you do not fancy trying your luck. It would be so like you, really, to avoid a drop to your death in the darkness, only to stumble during the morning's light and take an irreversible tumble. Your fortunes have never been the fairest. Flowers! Your meanderings along the cliff reveal to you all manner of curious flora. You thought, the night prior, that the cliffs were weather-blasted, but you can see now that your assumptions were incorrect. There are flowers here, very warm and bright, like the sun's like during the summertime. Or you think, with a flush of pressure, the fair hair of the mermaid whom you are certain you spoke to last night. Ah, she's so gay! Let me just save in here. She's thinking about the girl because of the hair color and the flower color. Ah, she's so cute. The flowers are so very like her hair, it is uncanny. You step towards the flowers, drawn towards them, and sink down to your knees. The tall grass brushes your ankles like a caress, the morning's dew wetting your skirt. Your clothes are getting damp, as are your legs, but you care not for this minor discomfort. Yes, touching grass has its downsides. You get your clothes wet. You have just had an idea. Why not make a gift for your new friend? Oh, that's so cute. What are you going to do? We're going to do a flower crown, a bouquet? You are sure that she would appreciate it. Why would she not? She told you in a voice which was steeped with dolor that she had been feeling lonely. Want to see her again. And when you next see her, you'd like to make her smile. Oh, it is with this thought in mind that you begin to pick the flowers which are growing upon the cliffside. These flowers do not have any thorns, and their delicate stems snap easily enough between your fingers. You take care when plucking these flowers to leave a substantial amount of stem intact. You will need these stems so that you might twine the flowers together. You mean to make for your mermaid a diadem, something she will be able to wear in her hair. Oh, it's like a crown! Yay! I need to learn how to do one of those. This tiara is certain to suit her. She's so pretty. Anything would suit her. You continue to work, slow and steadfast as the weak sun shines. It takes time, but you are eventually able to fashion something you are satisfied with. You only hope the mermaid will feel similarly, if indeed she really does exist. Oh, the delusional is starting to hit her. She doesn't know if it's real or not. Carefully, you pocket your makeshift diadem. Is it diadem or diadem? Google, save me! Diadem? Diadema?
Diadem.
Diadem! Yay! Okay, thanks. Game. Carefully, you pocket your makeshift diadem, then decide to forage for some food. Finally, girl, you have to eat! Come on! You discover during your search some fruit trees whose sweet burdens are enough to fortify your spirits. For the present, at least. Sorry, I was thinking about fruit jokes because she's fruity as fuck. It is fortunate, really, that you are so excited about your moonlight. Damn it, Raja!
Hello, motherfucker.
I was waiting for the sound effect delay because you redeemed two at the same time. And it took some time for the other to load. Anyways, welcome, Raja! Sit and enjoy the Yuri! We were making gifts for our mermaid friend. I hope she likes it. It is fortunate, really, that you are so excited about your moonlight rendezvous with the mermaid. If you were less focused upon the future, you dwelt more in the immediate present, you might have more of an appetite. She's so busy gay dreaming that she cannot actually feel much of the hunger. But remember to take care of yourself. The emptiness in your stomach I would say stopped. You return to the cottage, whereat you mean to wait for the setting of the sun. There is very little to do, you soon discover, in the cottage other than checking the cupboards and sweeping the floor, occupations which both feel depressingly pointless. There are no books to read either, with which you might pass your idle hours. You do, however, busy yourself with trying to light the fire, so that you might ward off the cold. Ah, that's useful, yes. The time is horribly slow in passing, in part because you have precious little to do, but also because you cannot stop thinking of the mermaid. Will she really return to the shore as she said she would? Can you truly trust her? Oh, you only hope that you can. If she were not present at your designated meeting place, you think you would die from disappointment. The seconds continue to trickle by, unchecked by any hourglass, and as they do, the sun sinks beneath the horizon. Part of you worries, however, that it might still be too early to search for the mermaid. Will she be there yet? You sit there, your stomach tied up in anxious knots, and as you listen to the wind which buffets your windows, you hear it. The sound is faint, but you recall it well from the night before. There is a single, solitary voice outdoors, tempest-tossed amidst the rolling waves. The voice is a high, clear one, silvery, if indeed voices can have colors, like a finely polished dinner plate in a noble woman's home. I mean, she's addressing like synesthesia when you associate smells with images or touch, and you basically mix some of the senses. I know what she's talking about. The other day I was how do you say this? Smelling the new perfumes that my colleagues at work they bought from themselves. And you know, I'm not really a fan of perfumes. I'd rather just recognize people by their natural scent. But there was like this scent in the air, and I didn't know where it was from. It was from one of my colleagues' perfumes, and when she showed it to me, it smelled like pink spheres with thin lines, but most of them oval, horizontally oval, like weird bubbles, but not bubbles, just outlines. And then a similar thing happened when my other colleague showed me, I mean, you know, show another perfume, and I started seeing triangles. Triangles of blue and greenish shades. It was weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I'll sometimes associate things like that. Anyways, the voice belongs, of course, to the mermaid. Who else do you know with a voice as angelic as that? Relief begins to bubble up inside you, a relief so potent you feel dizzy from it. She did not abandon you after all. Why, you wonder? Did you ever think she would? She said that she wanted to see you. Ah, yeah, classic overthinking. Let's go. Did you think that a mere nicety? Buoyant as if by a gentle breeze, you hurry to the door. With trembling fingers, they are trembling, I presume, from excitement rather than fear, you seize the handle, then turn it. Then you step out into the dark, inky night. You walk towards the cliff as you did the night prior, beneath the cover of the inky blue sky, the wind moaning fitfully with every step you take. Damn, it's hecking windy again. Your soul still aches from your expedition the day prior, but you are able to ignore this discomfort. It seems irrelevant, really, when compared to the prospect of once again meeting the mermaid. You have known her for only one night, yet she has come to mean more to you than your own well-being. You would do anything for the mermaid if she asked it. Well, almost anything. You hurry down the sharp incline of the cliffs to the shore, almost stumbling in your scuffed brown shoes, which really were not built with rock climbing in mind. So frantic are you in your attempts to once again make the mermaid's acquaintance, you very nearly fall. It is a good thing that you still have enough sense about you to regain your footing. Otherwise, this tale would come to a premature ending. I'm concerned about the main character. She is a little bit reckless. Eventually, you make your way onto the shore, then approach the jagged outcrop of rock whereat you last saw the mermaid. Like the night prior, the mermaid is perched upon these rocks, her fair hair strewn about her shoulders. There she is! When she sees you from across the shore, she ceases her singing, and her eyes light up. Or at least they seem to. So you have returned to me, my hero, the mermaid says. And then lightly she giggles, or perhaps, should I say heroine? Stop! Ay, desculpa muna. My cat is on my lap and her bones were hurting my thigh a little bit. Her praise makes you blush. You do not feel worthy of it. Nobody has ever called you a heroine before. You do not even think of yourself as a heroine. If a story were made about you, you rather think that you would be a supporting character, one without her own voice. You are not interesting enough. The mermaid seems to think that you are, though. She's staring at you delightedly, as though you are the one person in the world she most wishes to speak to. The thought makes you tremble, but not as much as the mermaid's gaze. You tell the mermaid that you do not think you are so very brave, but she dismisses your awkward remark with a laugh. I think you are. I saw the way you scaled those cliffs. I thought that was very heroic. Oh, so she saw that, did she? Then, did she see how you slipped down the cliffs, raising your palms in the process? And how you very nearly fell? You have never been the most graceful of girls, but to have your failings exposed before a being as poised and as perfect as the mermaid, it stings a little bit. More, in fact, than the resultant grazes on your palms. Your clumsiness rocked you. Ah, shame! You tell the mermaid that there was nothing so very heroic about all of that. You were simply excited, that is all, to see her again. You weren't thinking, well, that makes two of us. I was excited to see you again. She was? I mean, she was? Naturally, I had a very good time speaking to you last night. I had hoped that we might resume our correspondence. That is why I came to the rocks a bit earlier than usual. I was waiting for you. Did you hear my song? Yes, you reply, with a nod of your head. You heard it all the way in the abandoned cottage. It called out to you. That was the general idea. I was singing for you. She was? You do not think that you are worthy of the mermaid song, but if she does not mind dedicating her voice to you, then... Well, who else would I dedicate my voice to? There is nobody else to hear me. That is a good point, you suppose. Shyly, you look back at the mermaid. You thank her for her song, it was very beautiful. Then tell her, before you can lose your nerve, that you have prepared a present for her too. Come on, show her, she's gonna like it. Oh, have you really? You have. It is a small thing, nothing more than a silly trinket. But if it would not be too much of an imposition, then... With clumsy fingers, you reach into your pocket. For a few moments, you fret that your near fall down the cliff might have damaged the delicate chain nestled within it, but your worries are in vain. The chain is surprisingly sturdy, even it was made with only a few flowers, and it has held firm against the odds. You handle the chain with great care all the same, however, as you hold it out, presenting it for the mermaid's approbation. It was for the mermaid that you fashion. Wait, I missed something. You handle the chain with great care all the same, however, as you hold it out, presenting it for the mermaid's approbation. It was for the mermaid that you fashioned this chain. You thought that it would look nice nestled in her hair. You were pleased with the chain when you first made it, but after looking at the mermaid, you have begun to reconsider. The mermaid's beauty is otherworldly, so much so, it almost hurts to look at her. Your flower crown, by comparison, seems a very meager offering indeed. Oh. I understand what she means. I think she's kinda ashamed of what she made. The longer you hold your gift out, the more unworthy it feels. You have half a mind, as the second elapses, to snatch your silly, wholly unworthy gift back from the mermaid before she can judge you too harshly. Come on, man. You know what they say, it's the feeling that counts, I guess. Maybe she'll like it. You made it with care. But the mermaid's lips curve upwards into a smile, and in a voice so full of gratitude it makes your heart throb, she says, "Oh my, did you make this for me?" "Well, yes," you reply, still feeling a little flustered. "You saw these flowers earlier, when you went for a walk, and they made you think of her. Not, you hasten to add, that you think her beauty is comparable to these flowers." "Mona, para de comer a roupa, não! Ah, my cat is starting to take a bath, but she's wearing a clothes. No, she's wearing a sweatshirt thingy. Ah, let me take it off. She's so silly. My cat will start taking a bath on top of the clothes. Why are you licking yarn, you silly cat? Ah, agua. I have water here. Wait. Okay, back. You saw these flowers earlier when you went for a walk, and they made you think of her. Not, you hasten to add, that you think her beauty is comparable to these flowers. They are far inferior when contrasted with her good looks. You simply thought. You are unable to get the rest of this sentence out, however, because the mermaid interrupts you, not rudely, but with something resembling compassion. Perhaps she pities you. She must be able to hear how your voice is trembling. And she also see the way your hands tremor? Oh dear. Faint heart never won the hand of a fair maiden, you know. What happened to all your confidence? I think that gift is a wonderful one. I did not at all expect it, but it really is pretty. You look at your feet, too shy to meet the mermaid's gaze. Then you say very quietly that you are glad that she thinks so, but she does not need to spare your ego. You have precious little of it left as it is. The mermaid seems touched by your shyness. Perhaps she likes her prey to be self-conscious, because she smiles. I am not simply saying things to spare your ego. I'm not like that. Humans might spot platitudes as easily as they breathe air, but I do not compliment others unless I truly mean it. Is that not the point of your speech? To have an honest dialogue with one another. If one party in a conversation is withholding their true intentions, then conversation is impossible. Damn, she is smart. Playing games is a waste of my time, particularly given my time above the surface is so very limited. Oh. You blush at this, more deeply still, and survey the mermaid beneath the full fringe of your eyelashes. Then, she really does like it? Did I not just say that? You humans are so very funny with all your second guessing. She was like that too in the beginning. She? My friend. The mermaid's answer is a simple one, but it makes your stomach clench regardless. Ah yes, her friend. How could you have forgotten about her? She used to make me gifts too, you know? Gifts like this one. She would pick flowers on the cliffs, over there, where I cannot tread. The mermaid gestures with one hand to the cliffs, which tower above the shore, tall and imposing as though to step the sky above. And she would fashion them in crowns like this one, and bracelets. I was appreciative of her tokens, though she was similarly shy when she first presented them to me. She did not seem to think very much of her handiwork. You and her are remarkably similar, really. There is no gill in the mermaid's voice, but her words have rather taken the wind out of your sails. Of course, the cow herd gave the mermaid gifts. She is jealous. I mean, understandable, I guess. Why would she not? The mermaid is beautiful. She's so very beautiful, like a tutelary goddess. She seems to invite tribute simply by existing. Were you more religious or more irreligious maybe? You might even consider worshipping her. Though in essence, is that not what you were doing with your flower crown? How silly of you to think that your idea was an original one. I might be accustomed to gifts, but it has been a long time since any human has bequeathed me with anything. This is a pleasant surprise. I'm truly thankful for your kindness, dear one. The mermaid leans forward on the rock, so as to pluck the circlet from your fingers. Her benevolent smile, all the while, is unwavering. And now that I look at your gift more closely, I rather think it is of a superior quality to the gifts my old friend once gave me. Are you winning points, son? Now, this is enough to make you start, if the touch of the mermaid's fingers upon your own was not. Could your silly gift really be better than those she once accepted? I think so. My friend's trinkets were all rather clumsy in execution, though I cherished them nonetheless. They were very precious to me. It did not last for very long, though. Not when I took them with me to my home beneath the ocean. The water soon ran the fragile link between the flower stems asunder. Your diadem, however, seems more sturdy, but it is, by the same token, very delicate. You must be very good with your hands. Don't say that! Don't say that! I'm very unserious, I can't handle that! You think back, briefly, on your disastrous sewing lessons in the past, of your numerous failed attempts to thread your needle, while the other girls giggled at you, and you blush. You think the mermaid's praise might be a touch too effusive? You tell the mermaid as much, but she only laughs. I do not think so, now. Oh, she's wearing the flowers. The mermaid places your floral trinket upon her head over her long fair hair, then surveys you in a manner which seems almost coquettish. What do you think? I think you want to kill me. Ugh. You think that the mermaid looks radiant, though that is less because of your gift and more because of her natural looks. You tell the mermaid this, though not in terms quite this glowing, and she giggles. You are selling yourself too short. I think your gift is lovely, really. The flowers rather match my hair. Yes, you answer, with a nod of your head. That is why you pick these flowers. He is all you have been able to think of. I'm glad that you have been thinking of me. I, in truth, have been thinking of you, though I do not wish to say as much. No? No, it would be embarrassing to confess how much I have been looking forward to our reunion if you did not feel similarly. I do not care to pine for humans from afar. But if you care for me as much as I do, then it makes me feel less alone. I'm gonna cry. She's so cute. You hasten to assure the mermaid, your face aflame. Do you ever stop blushing, goodness gracious? That you do care for her, very much so. You have not known her for very long, but she has certainly made an impression upon you. He is such an easy conversationalist. The time simply slips by when you are together. And it does not hurt, of course, that she's so pretty. I have heard it said, yes, that my looks are rather appealing. My old friend was similarly complimentary. I cannot blame you humans for being so taken with me, when my form is so very graceful. Your legs seem rather cumbersome in comparison to my smooth, sleek tail. It must be so very depressing to lumber about on land as you do, living your days beneath the harsh sun and the cool, unfeeling moon. Sometimes I rather think I pity you. But the surface is a good deal-bringer than it is beneath the ocean. I will grant you that much. You agree with the mermaid, still feeling flush, that there are some perks to having legs, an agreement which makes the mermaid giggle. I am certain that there are, though. You cannot explore the ocean's depths as I can. I presume you have never tried it. You shake your head, no. You had never thought to do so, largely because you have never been so close to the sea before, not in all of your life. You did not have much opportunity for nautical exploration in the past. You're not allowed to go anywhere then, save to the local church. It was quite a lonely existence. Well now, that is a pity. You were kind enough to give me a gift, fashioned from flowers which grow where I cannot reach them. So perhaps I ought to return the favor. The favor? Yes, that is right. It would seem only fitting that I give to you something which can only be found in the ocean's depths. Perhaps we could look at it as a form of cultural exchange. That's so cute! I'm gonna die! I'm getting diabetes from this game. I'm sure it will come back to haunt me in a few minutes. This game is playing with us. Don't trust this game, chat! Oh no, you protest, your eyes wide. You couldn't possibly put such a burden upon her. Did not give her a gift after all, because you wanted to receive anything in return. Anything other than her friendship, that is. Her conversation is more than enough to satisfy you. You do not need any physical presence on top of that. The mermaid does not seem convinced, however, by your naysaying. She raises one eyebrow, even this gesture is performed elegantly, then says, "My company is all it takes to satisfy you. Then you are easy to please indeed. But please do not rebuff me. I am offering because I wish to do this. Remember what I said? I do not say things for the sake of it. Well, you murmur, if she really doesn't mind. Of course I do not mind. Now wait here. I will not be very long. It would be rude to abandon my new friend in the midst of a conversation. The mermaid turns her attention towards the clear mirror-like water which shimmers beneath the moonlight. Then she dives. Her body arcs elegantly through the air, her long, slender limbs cleaving through the surface of the water with nary a ripple. The mermaid's face is first submerged, then her torso, and at long last her tail. The water rushes forth to envelop her, as though it has been waiting for her. It subsumes her. It swallows her. Then she disappears from view. The mermaid is gone, but you are still here. Well, now what are you to do? There is nothing that can be done, you suppose, save waiting. You stand there for several moments, watching the black water lap against the shore. The breeze howls mournfully like a wounded animal as it buffets your hair about your face and your torn skirt around your legs. Time elapses, but how much of it? While you stand there fretfully, feeling as ostentatious as a maple. When will the mermaid return? Will she ever return? You are starting to worry. Is that all you do? When... Look! Over there! By the rocks upon which the mermaid once sat, the water is rippling. Howdy, Ludwig! Welcome! Welcome to our YURI session! Our new friend mermaid went to the depths of the ocean to get something for us, I think. As a gift. It looks as though your friend has returned. There she is! The mermaid pulls herself onto the rocks using a surprising amount of upper body strength, then smiles at you. I apologize for the wait. I hope I did not make you worry. You were worrying, but you are not half so honest as the mermaid. Mermaids might be spoken of as devious tricksters who lure sailors to their deaths, but they are in actuality very sincere. They are much more sincere than most humans. Perhaps that is why your kind fears them so. There are few creatures who inhabit this world whose capacity for lying is greater than your own. You tell the mermaid that you were not worrying, and she answers with a wry smile. I am not so sure about that. Ah, the mermaid is willier than you are. What? Willier than you are giving her credit for. She has seen straight through you. But no matter, it took me some time, but I was finally able to retrieve for you a gift. I do not have the means to turn this into a pretty piece of jewelry, as you did with the flowers, but I wish to give it to you nonetheless. I do hope that you like it. The mermaid leans forwards, then holds her gift towards you. Her slender fingers unfurl about it, like the petals of a flower being folded back, and... Oh, what a pretty gift it is! It's a conch! The ocean might be dark and deep, cold and unfeeling, but the same cannot be said for the object which glitters upon the mermaid's palm. He has fished from the depths of the water a beautiful shell, one which shimmers prismatic colors beneath the moon's light, much like the scales on her tail. Well, this YURI is indeed about the mermaid. Remember last stream, if you were there? We were raising up a princess, and it didn't end well. Then we started raising up a mermaid, and now we are continuing that. The shell is so very pretty, it quite takes your breath away. You look at the shell worriedly, your teeth biting your lower lip. That is a bad habit, you know. You will make yourself bleed. Then ask the mermaid if this is really alright. Would a gift like this not be wasted on you? Of course not. I want you to have this shell because it makes me think of you. Oh, this shell makes her think of me. It looks more like her tail though. It does? How so? I thought it should be obvious. The shell is a lovely find. As are you. I can't. She's so honest. She's so bright and honest. It's so cute. I'm sure nothing will go wrong with this one. I hope not. Second time's the charm? Am I right, Horizon? Oh. Did she just call you lovely?
Are you a mermaid? Because you've got me hooked.
Good one. Good one. Simple but good. She did just call me lovely. Surely you must have misheard her. You can scarcely believe it. It is an awful lot for you to take in, but... Now, why are you gawping at me like that? The wind will change, you know, and then your face will be stuck like that, which would be quite a shame. You would waste your good looks, which for a maiden such as yourself would be nothing short of a tragedy. It seems as though the mermaid really does think you are pretty after all. The mermaid, with her smooth skin and her fair hair. Fair hair. You can scarcely believe it. I wonder if these are typos in the game, or if I just have the reading comprehension of a brick. There is something almost laughable about the mermaid's compliments. I forgot to breathe. How could she call you pretty when her looks are so immediately, obviously superior? Tongue-tied, you look at your feet. You do not know how to reply to the mermaid. You have half a mind to refute her words, to tell her that you are not that pretty, not really, but you fear that you might look rude. You do not want to rebuff the mermaid's well wishes. There's nothing for it, then, but to take the shell which the mermaid retrieved from the ocean's depths for you. You do not think that you are worthy of it, but neither do you want to refuse it. Now that is a surprise, the mermaid says, amused, as you reach for the shell. I did not think you would be bold enough to take it. Not without more coaxing on my part. You have exceeded my expectations. What a good girl you are. Are you trying to get me killed? What's wrong with you? You can't call me pretty and call me a good girl right after it. Your heart flutters with this praise, and it flutters all the more when your trembling fingers brush against the mermaid's palm. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. She presses the shell into your skin, and your own fingers tighten about it. The shell is sharp and pointed, and it digs uncomfortably into your skin. It hurts. But there is pleasure in the pain. This too feels like a gift from the mermaid. You do not want to spurn it. Even pain can be a precious thing when dealt by one whom you care for. You never knew that before. You hold the shell to your heart, which is beating an irregular rhythm, and look at the mermaid. Then very softly you thank her. It is quite alright. You seem It seems only fair after you shared part of your world with me. I wish to share part of my world with you too. Humans cannot normally descend beneath the ocean's depths, and even if they do, they cannot remain there for very long. You are far too fragile. Would that I could, I would bring you with me to my underwater kingdom, where we might be together. The mermaid's melodic voice thrills away, suffused with something resembling melancholia. She sighs. Then she shakes her head and smiles. But this will have to do for the present. Please take good care of that shell. Look at it from time to time and think of me. That would make me very happy indeed. I feel kinda sad for the mermaid and the main character. And the main character and the mermaid. The day passes, following this nightly encounter with your aquatic acquaintance with an almost intolerable slowness. Sorry, I get a bit sleepy. Maybe from speaking too much and not breathing enough. Let's, water? You endure the hours of sunlight as best as you can by going for long branching walks amidst the heather, foraging for berries and fruits among the hedgerows. You even, when you have mustered up enough courage, take an old fishing line uncovered in the fisherman's cottage and try your luck by the shore. Your initial attempts at angling are without success, but as the time passes, your proficiency in the art grows. Sometime after you take up your rod, you find you are able to catch the odd fish here and there, small scrawny things, mostly, but the meat goes a ways to bolstering your rudimentary diet. You teach yourself how to remove the scales of these saltwater fish that you have captured and how to gut them. You learn, too, how to cook them over a simple fire. Sometimes you skewer these fish of yours on spikes and roast them slowly, inwards and all. You are able to sustain yourself well enough during the day, though the faint pangs of hunger you experience never quite go away. Your physical discomfort, however, is secondary when compared to your desire to visit the mermaid. Your days might be dull and drab, but your nights, comparatively, are made of magic. It is only during the night that the mermaid emerges from beneath the waves, and when she does, you hurry to her side. Have never before had anybody who took so great an interest in you, not until you met the mermaid. That is why she has grown to mean so very much to you. She's the first friend you have ever had. But you do not temper your obsession accordingly. I fear she may very well be your last. You care little for the potential danger, however, which lurks beneath your interactions with the mermaid. You want only to show the mermaid how much that you value her, and you hope, within time, that she will come to value too. If you keep seeing her, surely she will stop thinking of her human friend whom she lost so suddenly. That is your plan, at least. Fortunately, your self-serving wish to grow closer to the mermaid seems close to being granted. Your nightly conversations when you greet her come easily enough, the words coming from your mouth like thread. You have grown rather comfortable in the mermaid's company, and she yours. She must have for this not long after you bequeathed your diadem of flowers? What? She must have. But it is. Wait. I am getting words mixed up in my eyes and my tongue. She must have. You have grown rather comfortable? And the mermaid in your company. Okay. She must have. But it is not long after you bequeathed your diadem of flowers to the mermaid that she... Merda! No! Fuck! No! That she looks at you, then posits a curious question. I was wondering, dear one, whether you would mind indulging me. I know this might not seem like an appealing proposition, but I thought it would be remiss of me not to ask. I have seen some of your world, for I have sat on this shore for many, many nights, but you have seen nothing of mine. It feels unfair that I should know some of the world that you inhabit, while you know so little of my own. So, would you care to come with me beneath the ocean's waves? There's so much that I wish to show you. Sights that cannot, I fear, be accurately represented in language alone. Not sure I like where this is going. Let me just... the audio on my ears. Words can be awfully stifling when it comes to the communication of experience such as this. It is quite a florid speech, but at the heart of it beats a simple enough request. The mermaid wishes to bring you beneath the ocean's surface so that she might show you her home. You are flattered initially that the mermaid wishes to show you something so personal. But after this flutter of flattery, there comes an uncomfortable sense of unease. The mermaid might feel at home beneath the water's surface, but what of you? You are a human girl with two awkward, ungainly legs, and you were not made to live underwater. You frown and, mistrustfully, you look at the ocean. It is late at night, as it always is when you speak to the mermaid, and the water does not look blue. It appears instead to be obsidian. The waves moan as they break against the rocks, which jut out of the shore like a mighty dragon's bones. They sound angry, violent almost. Salty sea spray arcs through the air. Out in the moonlight, it shimmers, sharp as knives. Hesitantly, you take a step back. You are a little afraid of the sea. It is so restless, so deep, and so all-consuming, it reminds you of a hungry monster. You have never submerged yourself beneath the ocean before. You never had the opportunity. You do not even know how to swim. You are fearful for your own safety, but you consent to dive beneath the undulating meniscus of the water. But do not look so frightened, dear one. I will be with you, and I will not let you go. You have my word. Shyly, you glance at the mermaid. She is still perched upon the rocks, her hands folded neatly upon her. Well, she does not have a lap, not really. You are still afraid, but the mermaid's reassurance does help. Has she not told you numerous times that she's nothing if not honest? You trust her not to break her word. She'll not leave you beneath the waves, abandon you to a cruel, lonely fate, to become the food of so many fish. Of that you are certain. That is why, despite all of your misgivings, you find yourself nodding your head. If that is what she wants, then you will accompany her. Ma'am, are you sure you want to do that? She lives very, very, very in the deep, even if she's holding you. I don't think you can hold your breath all that time. The woman is so blind to please the mermaid, she is gonna end up neglecting herself, her own being. You are interested too in what lies beneath the ocean's surface, out of sight. Oh, I know that you would agree. Thank you very much for humoring me. I will endeavor to make these next few moments the most memorable you have ever experienced. Now, would you care to come with me? I shall be your guide. The ocean's depths might be dark, but I will not let you get away from me, I promise. The mermaid extends her hand towards you, a hand which seems to cut through the moonlight just like a blade. The moon's celestial rays play against the mermaid's upturned palm so that it shimmers. The mermaid's hair, too, is glowing, backlit by Selene's glow, so that she almost looks like an angel. Her beauty is such that for a few moments you cannot do anything, neither step towards her nor back away. You feel frozen in place, rooted into the sand like some shore-growing tree. You still do not understand why the mermaid has taken such an interest in you, but an old adage does occur to you. You ought not to look a gift horse in the mouth. What does it mean? Or ignore the pleas of a graceful, dignified mermaid. You reach out your arm, shaking like the skinny bough of an ancient tree, and find the mermaid's hand with your own. The mermaid's fingers curl about your own. Her nails, only now you notice how sharp they are, digging into your skin. Though the mermaid herself looks very soft, her grip is surprisingly strong. You do not think, if she willed it, you would be able to get away from her. But why would you want to? She does not mean you any harm. Now let us be on our way. There is much to see in my underwater kingdom. I cannot wait to show it to you. The mermaid turns towards the ocean, as do you. A brief moment passes, one during which you allow yourself to stand there, your hand claimed by the mermaids, as the wind buffets your hair and your skirts. Wait, I have my volume on max? I do have. Not the big bath, you say? Yeah, we're getting mentally ready to probably take the last bath we'll ever take, judging by the looks of this game. You inhale deeply. The smell of the salt is heavy in the back of your nostrils, so much so you could choke on it. It is not a particularly pleasant smell, but you have grown accustomed to it after living in your tumble-down cottage by the shore. It is nostalgic almost. You have a vague feeling as you stand on the precipice between your world and that of your aquatic companions that you might never again be able to smell the salt in the air like this. That is just a silly supposition, though. You are being foolish. The mermaid will return you back to the surface in due course, will she not? You hope that she will. You, unlike her, cannot breathe underwater. You open your mouth, meaning to ask the mermaid about this fact, but you are not afforded the opportunity to speak. The mermaid has already shifted her fingers still twinned about yours. She dives forwards, her body slicing through the surface of the water like a knife, and you, inexorably, are dragged along with her. The water rushes forward to meet you in a sudden, shocking rush. The mermaid's descent might be graceful, but yours is anything but. You do not know how to position your legs, and your limbs feel awfully ungainly. The shock of the water as it touches your skin, meanwhile, is intense. You did not think that the water would be this cold. No, it is not just cold, it's freezing. It feels as though all the warmth has been sapped out of your skin. If your head was not already beneath the ocean's waves, you would gasp from it. I know this is all very bad for your health. You can get a thermal shock from the changes of temperature of just entering cold water all out of nowhere. You can get a damage on your skin from a very strong impact on water. Trust me, I have one time very badly tried to bomb out of a board on a pool, and also the quick changes of a height, like getting too deep too fast, they can be bad for your blood pressure. In general, you'll start to feel pressure on your body a lot, and that will make it more difficult to breathe. I remember when I was little, I used to take swimming classes at a diving school, I guess that was. And as much as I liked to swim, I was always afraid to do like the other kids and reach for the bottom of the pool. I felt like it was too much pressure from the depth, and I was not able to hold my breath for long. It was terrifying. I love swimming. I'm not afraid of deep waters, but I really don't like the feeling of pressure when I'm too underneath water. You do not gasp, however. You cannot. You have already been submerged. Your body no longer feels as though it is your own. Your hair is unspooling behind you like a thread, and your skirt is fluttering. Your body rocks to and fro as though being soothed in a mother's arms. It is a curious feeling, but it is not wholly unpleasant. If it only were not so cold down here beneath the ocean's depths, you might find it relaxing. It is dark under the surface of the water, yes, but you have not ventured so far, not yet at least, that the glow of the moon cannot penetrate its depths. Your surroundings are illuminated, though faintly, and thanks to this precious illumination, you can see the schools of fish swimming about you. Their scales all glisten as they arc through the waves like rainbows. They do not look like life forms. They appear instead to your fairy tale addled mind to be ancient relics brought to life through some strange arcane sorcery. They are pretty. No, that word is too significant enough. It's not significant enough. They are beautiful. You did not know as you stood upon the shore how very full of life it was beneath the water's surface. You did not know either how beautiful these aquatic denizens of the deep were. Sorry. You have never seen fish like these before, not in real life. You have memories, vague, hazy memories, of dissecting a fish once in a particularly gruesome biology lesson. But that feels like a very long time ago. You would far rather think of your present than dwell upon the past. But the seconds pass, and as they do, The mermaid continues to swim, leading you deeper and deeper into the ocean's depths. Well, once you were close enough to the surface that the moon's light could still slice through the waves, now it is so very dark that you can scarcely see. Your vision is beginning to blur. You can feel an uncomfortable pressure weighing down on your inert body. You have descended, you realize, with a ripple of anxiety, too deep. Humans were not meant to descend into these depths. The water, once cold, now feels freezing. It caresses every inch of your exposed flesh, as if to sap what little warmth you might still possess. You shiver, and when you do, you swear that you can hear your teeth chattering, despite the water which stops your ears. The water is toppling up your nostrils. There is so much water here at the bottom of the ocean. It is endless. A mermaid might be able to breathe underwater, but you are not so very fortunate. Your body is far less sophisticated than her, and it requires oxygen with which to furnish your body with continued strength, not salt water. The thought of trying to inhale the endless water which surrounds you makes you shudder. You would rather not attempt it. You do not have gills. When will the mermaid take you back to the surface? Surely she must know that you have fast begun near your limit. You have been underwater for far too long and it's too cold, and it is dark now. In any event, you cannot see much of anything. The joy you once felt during your underwater adventure has begun to dissipate, just like the last of the oxygen you still possess. It is time to return to the surface now, but how are you to communicate this to the mermaid? You cannot speak, and she's not looking at you. She's staring instead, fixedly at something beyond your comprehension, something far away. Perhaps it is the underwater gloom that you cannot see. Not knowing what else to do, you try to pull your arm free from the mermaid's grasp. You hope that this will signal her that she has grown too carried away in her endeavors, that she ought to cut short your expedition and return you to the shore. The mermaid does not react, however, to your attempts to escape her. Her grip does not slacken as you had hoped from about your wrist. In fact, it is quite the opposite. It feels as though she is gripping you more tightly than she was, as if to prevent your escape. But why would she do that? You tap the mermaid's shoulder to get her attention, as a gesture which prompts her at last to turn. Her fair hair billows about her, suspended in the water like a shroud. Then she says in that calm, measured, incredibly reasonable voice of hers, "Yes, yes, dear one, what is it?" If you could, you would open your mouth to reply her, but alas, you are a human girl, not a fish. You cannot speak underwater. Any attempt to do so would accomplish not save filling your pretty little mouth with water. The mermaid really ought to have considered that before she started to ask questions. But your comfort seems to be the last thing on the mermaid's mind. She smiles at you gently, delicately, then says, "I understand. Being underwater for so long must be beginning to take its toll. Do your lungs feel like iron? Are they heavy?" So she does understand your woes. You might not be able to speak, suspended, as you are in the dark, murky depths. But communication is not wholly impossible. You nod your head apathetically, hoping that this will be enough to make your distress apparent, but... Yes, that will happen. It is a natural part, or so I have heard, of drowning. Not that I have ever had the opportunity to experience it for myself. I am incapable, you see, of meeting my demise in such a manner. Now, where was that? What could she mean? I mean, the mermaid answers. Can she read minds? That this was a calculated act upon my part. Forgive me, dear one, but the moment you consented to sinking beneath the water with me, your fate was sealed. Your lungs will be flooded with water soon enough. Then you will die. It is not a pretty way to go. You needn't worry about your corpse bloating, disfiguring, or being eaten by fish, though. I will take good care of it, I promise. Why does this one hurt more than the other one with the princess? In death, you will look lovely, almost angelic. Is that not what you always wanted? You do not know what the mermaid thinks it is exactly that you want, or you think that she's laboring under some severe misunderstandings. You would like to try and correct her, but you do not want to die, but of course, you cannot open your mouth. What a pity. Well, at least it saves me from the effort of transcribing your dying pleas. I doubt they would be particularly interesting. God, this narrator is so shitty. If you want to know why I'm doing this, then I would not mind applying. I have no secrets to keep from you. Sorry, guys. Other than the secret, perhaps, that upon your first meeting, she nursed within her cold fish's heart the desire to bring about your watery murder? You might have liked to know that before you agreed to sink beneath the ocean's surface with her. I am only doing this because I have no choice. The other girl I liked, after all, the one whom I adore, disappeared. She went away, and I was never again afforded the opportunity to see her. You remind me of that girl, though you do not look much alike. You do not act very alike either. But you are both humans who, despite your delicacies, have no shortage of determination. How your kind is able to live when your lifespans are so very short, and you are susceptible to so very many diseases, is a mystery to me. Though my lifespan far eclipses your own, and I am far sturdier, I cannot help but marvel at the tenacity of you humans. I know that if I were as fragile as you are, I would not be able to exist in this world. I would be far too afraid. I would see my own death lurking behind every corner, just as you can see your own death looming before you. It is not so very far away now. You can feel it coming closer and closer, and closing its cold, icy fingers around your throat. You humans are incredible. I cannot help but respect you, weak and pitiful though as you are. She respects your tenacity so very much she wishes to extinguish it? That does not make very much sense. Perhaps my words are confusing you, but it makes perfect sense to me at least. My beloved cowherd left me. I do not know where she went or what happened to her. Perhaps she was murdered by bandits. Perhaps she contracted a horrible disease. Perhaps she simply fell and cracked her skull. I do not know. I will never know. For many, many days and many, many nights, her disappearance tormented me. I could not help but wonder how it came about. But there were so many possibilities. I could not imagine all of them. This thought terrified me. It still does. That is why I'm going to take you to my underwater kingdom with me. There we can be together forever. Nothing will be able to tear us apart then. I will brush your hair, and I will dress you in the finest pearls found from the bottom of the seabed. It will be lovely, much lovelier than any sort of miserable existence you might be able to eke out above the water. Gosh, fucking damn it. In my citadel, you will never be attacked by bandits nor ravaged by diseases. You will be quite safe, I promise. Quite safe, yes. And quite dead too, surely. Well, yes, that is the only unfortunate aspect of my plan. She considers your death nothing more than a mere misfortune. The mermaid might be surprisingly cold after all, but perhaps you ought to have predicted this. She's part fish. Are fish not cold-blooded like lizards? You probably learned this at some point during biology class, but your lessons are beginning to feel very, very faint and far away now. Your body is beginning to fail you. You cannot take much more of this. It is a necessary sacrifice, though, if we are to be happy. I am doing this, you know, for both our sakes. I do apologize for tricking you, but please, try to understand. I really have been lonely. You would be more inclined to sympathize with her, perhaps, if her loneliness was not ushering in your inevitable demise. But you are too preoccupied with your dwindling reserves of oxygen to feel much in the way of anything for your capture. You can feel the pressure of the water against your eyes. They are beginning to ache. Perhaps you are crying, you do not know. The water masks much of your anguish. You have been drifting underwater for almost 3 minutes. There is a remarkably long time to go without any air. Your vision is beginning to cloud. Your surroundings, already dark, look darker, still unpleasant and obscure, and do not all like the paradise the mermaid promised you. The pain of being suffocated slowly is far stronger and far more oppressive than the sensation of the mermaid's hand wound tightly about your arm. Is there no escape for you? The prognosis, I am sorry to say, is grim. Your fate, as the mermaid said, really was sealed the moment you met her, luxuriating on those rocks beneath the moonlight. But you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow, and in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led you to your ultimately demise. Where have I heard this before? Now, what do you want to do? I'm gonna do Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace, or will you try to fight against it? I will go for the second option later, I promise. That is a bit of an anticlimactic answer at this juncture in your life story, but I suppose it would be remiss of me to lecture you too much. I am sure you are well aware of what a terrible series of decisions you have made. There is no need to be belabor to... There's no need for me to belabor the point. That would be boorish, not to mention tedious. I'm rather tired of scolding you, so instead, I think I will content myself with loving you. What? You thought in your death the mermaid was the only one who would be able to cause it you? What? I know I've said this before, but you really are naive. You cannot escape me, even if you are at the bottom of the deepest, darkest ocean. The world might have forsaken you, but I never will. I will never leave you. You will never be lonely again. Porra! The narrator feels like a yandere bitch after me. But this is not the end. I'm gonna fight against my fate. But man, I have to say that this one hurt me a lot more than the other. Like the other one, I mean, they both wanted us to be together forever in some way. The other princess, spoiler alert, she wanted to eat me in a literal sense, so that we would be together forever, so that I wouldn't leave her. This mermaid wanted us to be together forever. She would basically preserve my body underwater, my dead corpse, so that we would be together forever. I mean, at least I still exist in one piece, but it's still very depressing of a thought that she would be taking care of my dead body. You know, as like a partner, she cherished it. Let's fight against our fate. Yeah, it feels way sadder than the other one to me too. I like that look on her face. It is a look full of determination. The self-same determination which first prompted me to take an interest in you. I can tell that you are not happy with this ending. It did not come all this way, after all, to drown. That is quite the indecorous demise, regardless of how many fine stones and shells the mermaid means to twine through your hair after your death. If you wish to carve out a new story for yourself, then I would be only too happy to indulge you. Just try not to get on the bad side, or good side of any homicidal naiads this time. The drowning of fair maidens is something of a cliché. Your fate is once again in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? This is the only path I can take. The village. So you want to go to the village? I do, but I'm gonna save, and I'm gonna make our lovely 10-minute break because I really need it. I need to breathe. I don't know if I need to cry a little. But I definitely need to blow my nose and rest my legs. So guys, I'm gonna see you guys in 10 minutes, you know? That waiting screen. Go grab some water, go grab some treats, and I don't know if we'll be able to finish this one too. I don't know if there's like... You see, one ending with the castle, one ending with the shore, one ending with the village. What about the narrator? I have a feeling that I'll need one more stream to finish this game, either ways. But after my stream, after my 10-minute break, I'm gonna continue my best to try to get to the village endings. But I really need to rest my brain from reading and crying a little bit. A secret ending where we'll be happy? I don't know, Horizon. I think it's just a fourth ending to make us more miserable a little bit. Alright guys, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I'll be back. Oi, hello, hello. I'm feeling a little bit more rested. I wouldn't say better. Ah, fuck depressing Yuri. Let's go. I still have to watch Madoka Magica Rebellion movie and all the movies before the most recent one releases. Man, I can only take so much of Tragic Yuri at time. Also, I was trying to get the cat off my chair. She was how do you say? She was laying on my chair, and I wanted to pick her up and negotiate with her why she would let me do that. She was stretching. No, I don't want to get up. No. Okay, I think we are set. Guys, ready to go to the village? Time to repeat a bunch of that copy-paste dialogue. I'm not sure if I want to read all of that again. I wonder what will happen next. You follow the path which leads to the village, supporting yourself on the way. I've read this like 3 times! Guys, I'm gonna skip this part until we get to the plot. I am running and I'm fucking tired, and I don't know if my legs can handle that for much longer. Ooh, you do not know what will await you at the village, but you have visions as you run of a quaint, scenic settlement, all thatched cottages with sloping roofs. There will be a kindly peasant. Surely there will be a kindly peasant who will be willing to put up a young runaway for a few nights. She always imagines something as she reaches her destination. She imagined a prince, a fisherman, and now a peasant? Something like that. You can imagine too the face of this kindly peasant from the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. Here we go, the variants. She will be broad-shouldered and ruddy-faced, with dull brown hair crammed beneath a cap. Her arms will be sturdy from many years of washing clothes and milking cows, but she will be kind to you and compassionate, just like a mother. You do not know what mothers are like. You hardly ever spoke to yours. You are only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Peasants do not, as you know from your voracious reading, have much money, nor do they have much food. It might be hard to convince a resident of the village, even the kindly washerwoman of your fantasies, to take in a complete stranger. Still, you must try. That is all you can do, really. Oh, a village! So you run to the village. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally you manage it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say that time had begun to lose all its meaning? Again, with the time loops. The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt in it. It is still cold though, and still foggy, and it's still dark too. The sun has yet to rise. Again, you can see the moon! And the moon hits your eye like a fucking pizza pie. Ah! I know this! Come on! You follow the winding dirt path to the village, looking this way and that. But your hope, such a precious, fragile thing, soon begins to fade. The village up close does not look half as welcoming as you imagined it. They are cottages, yes, but they are in a state of despair. There are holes in the roofs and holes in the windows. Most of the doors are tightly shut, but others are gaping open. The kitchens beyond them even darker than the night sky which shrouds you. There are no lights on in any of the windows, and neither can you see any people. Insomniacs like you. Damn. You cannot hear anything either, beyond the sound of your own footsteps and the low, mournful sighing of the wind. The village is quite quiet, eerily so. It is immediately obvious, even to the naive girl such as yourself, that something terrible must have befallen this village. Oh no, must this be the village that the mermaid was talking about to us? Wait, what's wrong with my camera? It's falling! Okay, it's good. Okay, this must be the village that the mermaid was talking about. Maybe everyone fucking died. Maybe it was the plague indeed. You know, before you try your luck at one of the houses, that nobody will answer you. There will be no kindly, red-armed washerwoman to welcome you here, no matter how much you wish for it. I mean, a girl can dream. But that does not stop you from wishing regardless. Yeah, your knuckles rap smartly against the wooden door. Your efforts soon prove, however, to be in vain. There is nobody here to hear your entreaties. How very sad. You try another door, then another, but the result is the same regardless of how many doors you rap upon. Nobody answers you. How could they? There is nobody here. Once again, you have found yourself all alone. At least you have found some dwellings in which you can rest your weary head. That emote is cute. Will you utilize one of these cottages for your purposes? I mean, sure, why not? It's free. I could very well take it. Nobody is here. You might as well. But no, an abandoned cottage is not what you are looking for. You would rather have companionship, would you not? Briefly, you swallow your tears. You wipe your eyes with the back of your arm in a well-practiced motion. Then inhale. You square your shoulders, and you keep going. Surely, the village cannot be completely deserted. There must be one person here at the very least who can help you. That is what you are thinking as you resume your search. You flit from cottage to cottage with precious little to show for your determination, until you make yet another discovery. Eita porra! This village... Wait, is the music kinda loud suddenly? No, it's just me. The village, with its squat thatched cottages bathed in the moon's glow, has a church. Well, of course it has a church. The villagers who once dwelt here were not godless heathens. Not that their fate did them all much good in the end. Still, the sight of the church soothes you over your overtaxed heart. You were so focused on your fantasies of a kindly washerwoman taking you in, you did not pause to entertain the fancy of a kindly nun doing much the same. I'm sorry, I started thinking about Lepkuchen from LGTS. No, I do not have a thing for nuns. You guys can't hear me like one thing and suddenly it's something that I have an obsession with, according to you guys. No, but I do like Lepkuchen a lot. All hope is not lost. You approach the church, which seems to tower over you despite being so humble. The church is a small one, but it is stout and sturdy. It must be, for it has withstood centuries, forever standing sentinel on this hill like a relic from a bygone era. The church does not have any stained glass windows, but it does not need them. Even without more luxurious trappings, the church still exudes an aura of dignified solemnity. The stone building is fringed by a sizable graveyard, one which occupies the rest of the hilltop and some of its sloping sides. The graves, which have been planted by generations of wardens, are hewn from a similar stone to that which the church's walls are made of. Speaking of death, I need to drink water. Some of the gravestones are shaped like lozenges, while others shaped like crosses. A handful of headstones are even shaped like angels, though these are few and far between. There are very few people in a village such as this one who can afford such luxurious final resting places. Yeah, it's true. Like, guys, imagine your tombstone. It's usually just a simple thing, but imagine some people are able. Wait. Sorry guys, I have not been able to catch a single commercial break in this stream. Wait, it says like it finishes it in 20 seconds? Huh? Okay, I'm just gonna take this off my mind since it's not the game. I was talking about, imagine those people who buy very luxurious statues for graves and stuff. I was looking at those one day and I was thinking, man, can I really spend all that much money to have like a trophy for my high score at the end of my life, basically? Is it really worth it? Can I just get a simple thing? I don't know. I mean, not saying I'd rather just be thrown at the side of the road, but I don't think having a big old raptor statue would be necessary either. I mean, some people can, I guess. Well, I was just thinking that it's basically an achievement medal to show for your high score at the end of your life. A statue at your gravestone. You look at the tombstones with an almost childlike curiosity, forgetting in your examination of the visceral heart-rending fear which gripped you as you ran through the forest. We forgot that we were scared. Wait, let me just lower a little bit. Just a little bit, okay. You are out of the woods now, and you have subconsciously already begun to relax. You try to read the names hewn into the myriad tombstones, but it is dark and you are tired, and some of these graves are very, very old indeed. You strain your eyes, but you do not have much luck in this endeavor. Oh well. Such superfluous details are not important. You eventually tired of examining the graves and turn. This graveyard is an expensive one. Unusually so, given the village itself is so small. How can it boast so many corpses? There is much to explore. You walk about the perimeter of the church, casting your gaze first here, then there, then everywhere, consumed as you are by your immense, all-encompassing curiosity. And as you do, you see her. She looks like an ordinary girl, small and scrawny, just like yourself, but she is much, much more than her unremarkable appearance might suggest. What is she? For some moments, you observe her, hiding all the while in the shadow cast in the shadow cast by the church, like a furtive lizard clinging against the rocky edifice to shroud itself from the sun. Why does she have white hair, though? There's no sunlight here, though. There's only the night sky and the stars and the moon. Beneath the moon's light, a silvery implement the girl is clutching shimmers. It takes a few seconds to see what it is that the girl is clutching in her hands. It is not until you see her manipulate it, its sharp edge biting into the earth, that you understand. It's a shovel. This girl is standing in an isolated corner of the churchyard late at night, and she is digging a grave. Well, you suppose she could always be digging a hole for the sake of it, but her work seems much more too precise for this to be the result of a mere whimsy. It is hard for you to see her face, given the distance between the pair of you, but her posture is one that speaks of supreme concentration. She moves slowly, mechanically, like a woman on a mission, driving the end of her shovel into the earth over and over. Her motions are regular enough to be repetitive. There's something hypnotic, almost, in the manner in which she attends this test. Should you risk interrupting her? Do you dare?
Yes.
I get the feeling that she would not appreciate it. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. We had the princess, okay. It ended bad. We had the mermaid. Okay, kinda sus, but it could have ended good. It did not. It ended bad. Now we have a literal grave digger. I think I've already dug my grave deep enough for this. I don't need to see the grave digger to know that I'm already fucked, aren't I? Ah, I see where this is going. The shovel in her hands, meanwhile, is rather hefty. If she wished it... Wait, is the shovel broken now that I look at it? If she wished it, she could cause you no small amount of damage with it. Wow, glad to know that. Cold anxiety makes your skin prickle. You do not know if you should risk speaking to her when she, in her dark cloak, with her shovel, looks so very strange. But what do you have left to lose? My life? My undented skull, maybe? You've come far. You've come this far. It would be folly to turn back now. It is with this thought in your mind that you decide to approach the strange girl. Your footsteps are quiet. You have grown accustomed to slinking around like a cat, but they are not quiet enough. The girl's senses must be finely tuned because she blinks. Then she turns. Hi. Your eyes meet, and once they do, you feel your breath catch in your throat. You did not have a clear vision of the girl before, concealed as you were in the shadows, but now she's looking at you. You can tell that she's pretty. Cute hair. I'm sure she's the one this time. Oh, look, it's a pretty girl. I'm sure she's the one. Her skin is very smooth, and her hair, though obscured by a dark hood, is very fair. I mean, she has literal white hair. She looks too young. That can't be right. That can't be normal. Is she not human? Or maybe she just had a very stressful event and her hair turned white. It could also be it. Her eyes, meanwhile, are clear, cool blue like ice. Those eyes of hers, which are large with an ease, are fringed with very long, fair eyelashes. She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. She's simply too perfect to belong in this world. Perhaps she is some kind of a vision? A waking dream? A hallucination? I would adopt that! But no, she's none of those things. The shovel she's clutching in her hand looks like solid enough, its pointed tip glittering wickedly in the moonlight. You still yourself, expecting, perhaps, some sort of outburst? But attention soon drains from the girl's slender shoulders. Her fingers, which once were gripping the handle of her shovel tightly, relax. Her lips curve upwards at the edges. She's smiling, and what a smile it is! Oh, she is smiling. It is transformative. Have you guys seen that quote-unquote meme of pictures of people before and after you told them they're pretty or to smile or something like that? It just happens that people were neutral faced and then they smile. I mean, I think the conclusion that people got from those pictures is that people tend to look a lot cuter in general when they smile. That is a cute fact in itself. When she smiles, she looks radiant, angelic almost. Hers is a smile that is so suffused with light that your eyes begin to prickle from it. Ah, the light, too bright, no. I am so ladylike. I can't avoid getting these yawns. It's not because I'm reading, it's not like it's boring, it's because I keep not getting enough oxygen. Just properly. You are so relieved, you almost feel as if you could cry. Oh, come on, what the fuck? Ah, messages. It would not be the first time you have wept during this night, and neither would it be too surprising if you did. I thought she was going to say, it is not the first time that you have cried at the sight of a pretty woman. That would be pretty funny. My phone. Okay. You have been through a lot. You must be exhausted. The girl holding the shovel seems to realize this, because she bridges the distance between you cautiously, as one might approach a skittish cat. Meow? Then she says in a rough voice which does not match her dainty appearance. Well, does she live in a rural village? What were you expecting? Oh, it is so good to see another person. I was afraid I was the only one left alive. The only one in the whole world. Now this is quite the effusive greeting. Her introductory speech is riddled with exclamation marks. She is rather more personable than her apparel would make one suggest. You, a well-bred young lady, cannot help but feel overwhelmed. It is your turn now to be on your guard. She's scared of her. Anxiously, you observe the girl with the shovel, and you ask her what she means. What happened? Oh, do you not know? There's an awful lot you do not know. So much, in fact, it would fill a whole encyclopedia. Thank you, narrator. Fuck you. No, a whole Foda-se! A whole library. You shake your head, ashamed at your ignorance, and the girl frowns. You mustn't be from around these parts. I guess I should have known. The village is a small one, and everybody knows everybody else. Ah, it feels like as home. Everybody fucking knows each other. Everybody knows their schedule and their life. Fucking nosy ass people. The girl's expression falls. At least they used to, back when there was still people to know. That ain't the case now, though. Not after the plague. So it was the plague! There was a plague? That would certainly explain why the village, when you walked through it, was so quiet. So there really was a plague! Wait, the princess also spoke about the people dying in the village? Oh my god, it's all connected! The princess ran out of subjects, the mermaid probably lost her friend to the plague, and I guess you lost all your neighbors, graveyard lady? That would certainly explain why the village, when you walked through it, was so quiet. Sorry. Did everybody else succumb to this mysterious illness? That's right, it's just me here now. I've not seen another human being in a long time. It gets so lonely here. Now that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? You do not have much time to ponder this, however, because the girl takes a step towards you. Oh, but where are my manners? They must have gone rusty after being on my own for so long. My apologies, miss. You look like you've come a long way. You said you were a traveler, yes? And your hands are very cold, just like ice. Would you like to come inside? Maybe have something warm to eat and to drink? My home's small, I'm afraid. And my food ain't nothing fancy, but I'd be more than willing to share. It's not every day another girl stops by, especially not one as pretty as yourself. I'm feeling very blessed. Sunny, para! Oh my god, I'm blushing. And she thinks I'm cute? What the hell? The girl laughs. A carefree, airy sort of laugh which does not match your initial impression of her. You thought, when you saw her among the graves, that she would be more distant somehow and more mysterious. Perhaps you are mixing her with somebody else. You are still an... Okay, sorry. You are still unsure if you can trust this girl, but her invitation is an appealing one. It is much more appealing, certainly, than spending the night outdoors in the cold, keeping on the graves. What are you, a romantic poet? Please. You make a show of pondering the girl's invitation. At the very least, you do not want to appear too eager. But your acquaintance is, alas, an inevitability. Yeah, I have no choice. You are going to befriend her. Why would you ever refuse her? She is the first friendly face you have seen all night. Without her, you would be all alone. Your hostess leads you to a small, humble home located but a stone's throw away from the church, built in the shadows of a twisted, towering sycamore. The girl's home is in such a state it seems a folly to even call it a home. That she really said, "Damn, bitch, you live like this? Wow, you are mean." Hovel would, to you, be the more appreciative descriptor. But when your hostess leads you inside, her eyes alive, and she says, "Here we are, home sweet home." You don't have the heart to tell her that you don't find her home very homey or very sweet. Oh man. She's cute. She has a cute personality. That would be incredibly rude. As a guest, you want to be more appreciative. Half-heartedly, you look around your newfound surroundings. Why did my ass just see one TV to the right side? Am I stupid? The ceiling is supported by wooden joist, and it is perilously low. Not so much that you are in danger of bumping your head, but just enough to feel claustrophobic. There is a fire in the corner, though it is not consigned to a grate. The fire, instead, is blazing in the open. A circle of logs set alight, a scene from a witch's kitchen. Okay, it kind of looks like a witch's kitchen, I got it. But isn't the fire at home a little bit dangerous? Above the fire hangs a silvery pot, suspended from one of the wooden eaves. Other objects of interest are hung from the eaves, iron implements you take to be cooking utensils, various herbs, and strips of meat left to cure. I wonder if that meat is human though. You give me the sus vibes, lady. Wait. The smell of cooking fills the air, mingled with the sharp, sour scent of unwashed bodies. How, you wonder, does your hostess clean herself? You do not see a bathtub anywhere. Perhaps she does not possess one. The girl's home is unremarkable in every regard, but it is, you suppose, better than nothing. Oh my god. At least there is a roof over your head and food to put in your belly. The girl looks to the pot suspended over the fire, which she gives a stir with the ladle. Then she brings the ladle to her lips to taste whatever concoction she has been brewing within it. You can only hope that she is not, like the weird sisters from that famous play, brewing a broth with penny snake fillets. I have no idea what this person is talking about. Yes, I think this is just about done, the girl says, to nobody in particular. Sunny! Bebê! Para! O que tu quer? Olha, vou na cor do tamanho. Oh! Rau! Pau, 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 pau! Vem cá! Vizinho! Bebê! Rapucento! Rapucento! Back to the story. She sets the ladle down, back into the pot, then looks to you and smiles. You want something? It looks as though you've come quite the long way, and you must be hungry. No! Sunny! Yes, I want something. No! Sunny, stop barking! No! Para! I once read on the internet that dogs do not get tired of barking. That is a problem sometimes. My god, maybe I am tired. Maybe I am tired indeed today, because I went to sleep at 3 AM, almost, and I did not take any coffee in the morning. Because I was afraid I would eat too much and not have space for lunch at the right time, so I would be late for stream. Ah shit, fuck. These words are like music to your ears, even more divine than the trumpets of God's most loyal angels. Man, she really is hungry. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have another ad in 4 minutes. I can remember that. You are so hungry, you could eat a horse. Not the horse, no! Not that there are any horses in the immediate vicinity. Olha! Ei! Não! Não, 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 não! Não! Não é para estragar! Senta! Não! Senta! Isso! Ok. Agora deita. Deita aí. Não é para fazer ninho. Não é para brincar. É para rasgar o lençol. E não é para fazer xixi no sofá. Só para deitar. You express your interest to your hostess, who smiles in response. I thought you'd like the sound of that. Just give me a few moments. Your hostess retrieves two earthenware bowls. Sunny! Sentado. Senta. Your hostess retrieves two earthenware bowls from a cupboard with rickety hinges, into which she pours two hefty helpings of whatever it is she's cooking. This she serves with bread, which is hefty, could be used as a murder weapon. Oh my god! It is not much, I'm afraid. It's only soup and bread. It should take the edge of your appetite, though. Ah, no! No, 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 no! No, no, no! Hi guys, sorry, my dog was starting to make a nest on the couch. You thank your hostess for her hospitality, your stomach rumbling all the while. The soup does not look like anything you would typically consume, but the soup's poor presentation does not dissuade you. It is true enough that people eat first with their eyes, but when one is hungry enough, one becomes obliging enough to eat almost anything. Why else do you think that people, when stranded upon desert islands, will resort to cannibalism? On desert islands or just pretty abandoned castles, I guess. Humans are creatures of necessity. You like to wrap yourselves up in pretensions, but in actuality, you are not much better than animals. You are so hungry, your stomach is achingly empty, that you certainly descend upon your food like an animal. My ears. Your teeth glint, your incisors gleam, and soon you have consumed all that your hostess has offered you. My cat's looking at a mosquito, it's super funny. Your hostess watches while you eat, and she giggles once you have finished. Did you enjoy that? Oh. You catch your hostess' gaze suddenly abashed. You are so hungry you failed to account for her judgment. Now you have some food in your belly though, and you have been suitably warmed. Your old self-consciousness is returning. Did you not make a fool out of yourself? You demur shyly, looking at your lap, fearful all the while of what your hostess might think of you. You do not want her to take against you. Fortunately for you, however, and for your fragile ego, your hostess is not the judgmental sort. She's not like the girls you grew up with. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's nice to see my food being appreciated so heartily. I know I'm not the best, but I've been practicing for a long while. I used to cook for my father all the time, you see. This remark catches your attention. Quizzically, you look at your hostess, your abashment over your animalistic eating habits suspended. What happened to her father? Can't tell if my cat is looking at me or if she is looking at something behind me. I think she's just looking at me. Oh, she's so cute. Blink blink, I love you too, Muna. that's her name. The name I gave my cat. Anyways. It seems a grim thing to contemplate after having eaten, but didn't your hostess mention about the plague? Oops, I'm gonna die now. I've eaten poison food. Yes, your hostess says, her voice soft now and serious. That's right, there was a plague. And what of the villagers? What of her father? You're all gone now. Gone? Yes, you see. Your hostess rearranges herself upon her chair, one slender leg folded over the other. Then she begins her tale in earnest. My family has a history. We've lived here for centuries by the church, so we can tend the graveyard. Ah, so this abbot is centuries old then. It would certainly explain the dirt. My father used to prepare bodies for burial. Back when he was alive, he built the coffins, and he dug the graves, and he lowered the coffins into the dirt. I know it might sound like an awful job, but somebody's got to do it. There's no sense averting your eyes from death, not when it happens to the best of us. It's a noble profession, one that's been handed down in our family for generations. My father's father was a gravedigger, and so was my father's father's father. And my father's 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 father. Digging graves is in our blood. It's who we are. My. That was a surprisingly pretty speech coming from a girl who lives in the countryside, a girl who isn't out much in the way of education. It is apparent, just to listen to her, and the way she slurs her syllables together, that she has never had any elocution lessons. Not like you. I can barely read this light novel, graphic novel thingy. There is determination, however, to her, and a pride in her genealogy which gives her a respectable aura. Cannot help but be impressed. So you ask your hostess, does that make her one in a long line of gravediggers? Yes, your hostess, the gravedigger says. That's about right, though I was never supposed to be a gravedigger myself. It's not a woman's profession. That's what everybody says. My father didn't mind that though. He taught me everything he knew, and then some. I might be a woman, but I've plenty of upper body strength. I can dig a grave just as well as my father could, without breaking a sweat. To the despair of my mother up in heaven, I'm sure. I'm sure if she were still alive, she'd rather I focus on more feminine pursuits, like basket weaving or sewing, to better attract a suitor. Not that it would do much good now. There's nobody around, would Kurt May, not for miles and miles. And what happened to her mother? She died when I was very young during childbirth. I was only 5 years old. Oh well. You can relate to her at least upon this point. Your parents are not dead, at least not as far as you are aware, but you have not seen them in an awfully long time. They sent you away as soon as you were old enough, and they never once bothered to check up on you. They sent you on a Pokemon adventure, or like a waifu. Search for waifu adventure. For many years, there have been no letters nor any visits. You offer the gravedigger your condolences. You do not know if they will help, but you feel like you cannot say nothing. That would seem heartless. The gravedigger, however, does not seem too upset by this turn of events because she smiles, albeit somberly. It's alright, it was ages ago. I don't remember her too well, and I've never really had the luxury of sitting around feeling sorry for myself. I had too much work to do. Around the house, you ask? That too. I was the oldest child, so it was my job. After my mother died, to manage the sweeping and the cooking. Oh, and looking after all of my siblings too. You blink intrigued, then glance about your hostess' humble lodgings. You do not see any siblings in the immediate vicinity. Where could they be? The gravedigger must have noticed your roving eyes. You are not being exactly subtle, because she shakes her head. I had siblings. 2 younger brothers. They're gone. They're both gone now. Oh. You should have known. You apologize to the gravedigger for your lack of tact, but she does not seem upset by this fox pass. Apologize, not your fault. My brothers weren't long for this world anyways. The youngest, he died when he was still a babe, and the oldest, he died before he reached double digits. I was upset about it at the time, of course, but I've come to terms with it. Life's a fleeting thing in this wicked old world. That's something you learn in this trade. In graves, I mean. I've dug graves for the elderly and the infirm, but I've also dug graves for young babes still in their swaddling clothes. That's the nature of death. It comes for all of us in the end, no matter how old we are, no matter how much money we have, no matter how good or bad we've been. It's the great equalizer. Or so I've heard. A chill creeps down your spine as you listen to your hostess' speech. She's not wrong, but the inherent mortality of all humankind is not something you wish to contemplate. It is too disturbing. For the longest of times, my family was a small one. It was just my father and me. That was fine. It was how I liked it. I was very happy, even if our lives weren't the best. I've never had any fancy clothes to wear, and we can't dine on the finest foods. In the grand scheme of things, we ain't anything that special, but I've always felt otherwise. I thought that I was blessed. We know hardship, of course, and famine, but that's just the way life is around here. When food supplies were low, we always helped one another out. I had my father, but I also had the rest of the village. We all looked after one another, and things always worked out in the end. At least they did. Until the plague happened. Yes, she had mentioned a plague. I had been wondering when she was going to return to that topic. You suppose that the plague is the reason that the village as you traversed it was so very empty? You'd suppose right. The plague tore through the village. I don't remember when. It feels like it was a while ago, but maybe it wasn't all that long after all. It feels like I've been on my own for centuries, but... Your hostess' eyes begin to cloud over. She looks as though she is entrenched within her own memories. What could she be remembering? You have never seen the plague before, though you have heard of them in your history lessons. Your history professor was quite enthusiastic about the subject. She talked about piles of dead bodies stacked up on the streets and stacked up in the wooden carts come to take them away with no shortage of aplomb. She was a strange woman, your history professor. The plague came on very suddenly. There was no warning. One day everyone was fine, and the next they were all dead. It is with no small amount of anxiety that you eye the gravedigger. Then you ask worriedly, surely they could not all have died? That's not an exaggeration. Oh, if only. I wish I was exaggerating, but it's the truth, honest to God. The people in the village died, one after the other, just like that. I saw what the plague does to people firsthand. My father was one of the first people who caught it. I think one of the bodies which came through that we buried must have had it. Not that I know for certain, I'm still guessing. I'm just guessing still. My father didn't have... Sunny! Tem que abrir a porta? Não! Sunny! Okay. My father didn't have an easy time of it. His skin turned all grey and clammy, and he complained of a horrible fever. There were night sweats and stomach cramps. And then there were the boils. The boils? Pustules. They were the size of eggs and they were full of pus. When they burst, it stunk. The whole house was full of it. The stink of death. The wise woman of the village came to see if she could be of any use, but it was no good. My father was too far gone already. She took one look at him lying on his deathbed, and she shook her head. She said she didn't want to get any closer. I can't say I blame her. It was a ghastly sight. I didn't appreciate it at the time, though. It felt like she was turning her back on us. I wished her ill, I remember that, after she left. Until a few days passed, and she felt sick too. Then I felt bad for cursing her. I couldn't help but worry if it was all my fault. It's silly, I know, but... The gravedigger closes her eyes. She seems to squeeze her lids together until her lashes melt like flakes of fallen snow. Her shoulders, which are very slender, are shaking. She looks as though she might at any moment fall apart. It wasn't long after that the rest of the village fell ill. They all had the same symptoms as my father, the clammy skin, and the fever, and the boils. The boils grew and they burst. and then they died in screaming, stinking agony. Oh god, it's graphic. My father died too, only 3 days after he fell ill, but I think even that was 3 days too many. I didn't want my father to die, of course. I did everything I could to help him, but it was all pointless. None of my herbal salves had any impact. I couldn't make a blind bit of difference. All I did was stand about his bedside, telling him it'd be alright until his eyes sank into his skull like 2 black stones and his mouth dried out. During that last day before he died, he might have been a corpse already. He didn't look at me, didn't speak to me. He just lay in bed with his eyes closed, groaning. I'd never wished any ill on my father before, but during those moments The gravedigger squeezes her hands, which are resting upon her black-clad lap, into fists. She trembles, and in a voice throbbing with an awful emotion, she says, "I wish he'd just died." Well, based on her anecdote, it does not sound like she had overly long to wait. I wonder if she would consider that a silver lining? No, perhaps not. The gravedigger is still shaking. She will not cry, will she? I hope not. Awkwardly, you look at the gravedigger. You are not sure how to soothe her, but you know you must make some sort of an effort, even if it is as a token one. Guys, I have to confess, I am kinda tired. I am kinda getting lightheaded from reading so much. I'm sorry, but I think I'm gonna have to end the stream. I cannot read for much longer. Apparently I have been streaming for almost 3 hours. Usually I can go for 4 if it was like a normal day, but I guess I didn't sleep it well enough, and I also have this little egg cramps thingy going on. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to continue on the next week. But thankfully, I already know which day it's gonna be. It's gonna be next week on day 27. That is the day after Monday. Tuesday. That is on Tuesday. Yes, on Tuesday. Did I save, by the way? On Tuesday, I feel like I can continue this story of ours. Make this ending. And hopefully, if there's a secret ending, to finish that one as well. It's gonna be on day 13, isn't it? I believe so. I will be posting as soon as I can the schedule on my Discord and on my Twitter. I'm sorry, the music is distracting me. Let me just... Okay, I can think better without hearing my headset. Guys, thank you so much for this bit though. I hope you didn't cry too much like me with the mermaid part. But this is a very interesting story. I wanna see the end of it. I wanna see what is this sneaky narrator up to, giving me chances and mocking me every time something bad happens. We'll be continuing that. I'm sure we'll get at least one semi-happy ending, right? Right? I cannot guarantee that, but I don't want to continue another game until we finish this one. I know I've been streaming for 2 weeks already, but this feels like a short game. I can finish this. It's not that long. I wanted to do the Dark Souls themed spin the wheel giveaway thingy, but I wanna finish this game first. Unless you guys want me to, I don't know, play something different next week. Sometimes I don't want to stream the same thing lots of times. But I want to finish this. I'm gonna continue this game next stream. Yeah, next week on Tuesday. On Tuesday. Let me just switch screens. On Tuesday, guys, which is day 27. Mosquito. I'm gonna have a day off and I'm gonna be continuing with It Gets So Lonely here. We need to finish this shit. We can't be depressed forever. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna take some time now. Just rest. I'm feeling very lightheaded. Thank you so much and I'll see you next week. Bye bye!